Yeah, thanks so much for having me. My name is Daniela Christen. I'm the head of startups and scale up at Digital Switzerland. So I'm responsible for all our activities all around startups. We're a non-profit organization aiming to make Switzerland a leading digital innovation hub worldwide. And we work with more than 240 members to drive innovation forward. So Switzerland, of course, is a small country, right? So with like 9 million inhabitants, but we do have some great innovation assets, of course. And what makes Switzerland really as an ecosystem special is that we're extremely bottom-up organized. So every region is also trying a little bit to be more innovative than the other, which of course then supports the ecosystem as its whole. And we're therefore extremely decentralized with the biggest hubs around Zurich and Vaud. This is because the universities ETH and EPFL are located there. And yeah, there are many approaches, of course, to measure the quality of a startup location. A simple and very plausible indicator is the country's ability to attract founders from abroad. And of course, then in the eyes of the entrepreneurs, these states apparently are more like better conditions, offer better conditions than the country of origin. And Switzerland scores very well in this criterion with a positive net migration, actually. So the number of foreigners in the management at Swiss startups is 47% higher than the number of Swiss working for foreign startups. Also interesting that the proportion of CEOs and executives with doctorates is higher than in any other comparable country, with a ratio even twice as high as in the UK or the US, for example. And Switzerland rightly therefore sees itself as a deep tech nation. And in addition, deep tech startups also have made a significant progress in generating venture capital in the recent years. And we actually expect the Swiss ecosystem to be among the top 10 hubs worldwide within the next couple of years. And we see that the Swiss ecosystem is growing rapidly, especially in deep tech and environment tech. And we're also convinced that we generate thousands of new jobs and several globally recognized and successful emerging companies in the near future. So Swiss startups also benefit, of course, in particular from the excellent university landscape. So one of our main assets are our talents. And in order to have talents, we have to educate the people. And therefore, we are investing a lot of money also in university and research centers. And when looking at the rankings, I think we can be really proud, especially also because we are such a tiny country. And of course, then also startups emerge or settle in all around university cities. Annually, around 400 new startups are created in Switzerland, of which around 100 are direct academic spin-offs. And so since we have many great universities, we also do have many talented people in Switzerland. You can also see that in the different rankings, but also when looking at different big tech companies that are settling in Switzerland. And we're super proud to see that Switzerland again ranks very high in these two talent index and reports that are shown on this slide. So investments in Swiss startups have been growing for the past 10 years, and the increase has accelerated significantly in the recent years. And one reason we see for these impressive numbers is also the activity of new Swiss funds. This will definitely also continue in the next couple of years. In 2021, we got 35 new funds from Swiss providers, which is a breaking record for us. And in general, Switzerland is doing well, especially in early financing rounds. The rate is on a similar level to that of the US and is higher than in the UK or in Sweden. And the success is attributed to the increased activity of Swiss investment companies and business angels, which have, of course, contributed then to the upswing in the number of financing rounds. Looking at the different sectors that got invested in, you can see that ICT is still the biggest sector in Switzerland, where also within fintech takes up to 28%. And also we can see a positive effect of the digitalization push on the investments of healthcare IT sector. The pandemic clearly showed the weaknesses of digitalization on the healthcare sector, which led to a great investor interest in startups in this field. And in this respect, the orientation of the startup scene in Switzerland also harmonizes very well with the sector structure of the Swiss economy as a whole. The Swiss economy is focused on life sciences with pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, medtech, also capital goods, and of course the financial sector. And yeah, to wrap this up, I'd like to quickly introduce also the Swiss Tech Initiative. It's a private-public initiative that is supported by five major organizations in Switzerland. So instead of every organization trying to push Switzerland forward on their own, we decided to build one brand instead. The campaign aims to raise Switzerland's profile as a world-leading innovative location for business and to also increase the visibility of its deep tech companies as well as of its research excellence abroad. So yeah, whenever you see us at a tech conference this year, I'm looking forward to meet you and see you there. Thank you so much.